start with our class 9 presentation for girls. The class has 7 students teaching 5 subjects, Tariq, Ikhlaq, Fiqh, and Aqaid. First, I would like to call upon another creative and dedicated teacher. She is our Tariq and Ikhlaq teacher for class 9 girls. Please welcome Sister Nida Zain.
My name is Nida, and I will be teaching class 9 Tariq inshallah. I would like to start by thanking Allah and by saying Alhamdulillah, we all are here together under this roof with a greater purpose and a greater concern in our minds, and that is obedience to Allah, inshallah. We all want ourselves and our kids to achieve the real success and, of course, the real happiness in this world and the world hereafter. Recalling Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Once he said to Imam Ali, there are as many rights of children upon the parents as there are the rights of parents upon the children. And as we all know, that the greatest right of our children is that they should be taught about the truth, and the truth that Prophet Muhammad and our Imams brought to the mankind. And we all pray that may Allah help us achieve His nearness through His obedience by educating us and our generations, inshallah. Please recite us Allah. Okay, so moving on, I'm teaching Tariq and Akhlaq, so let's start with the Tariq of class 9. And my objectives for this course are, of course, your suggestions are more than welcome, but what I have planned for this class is on the screen. By the end of this year, the students will know the importance of learning Tariq. They must know that how important it is to study the past so that we can benefit in our present and in our future. Also, they will be able to memorize and recall the historical events by themselves, inshallah. And the students, while studying the curriculum, the goal is that they should benefit from what they are learning. So they should practice what they have learned. And also, this is important that whatever they study, they should be able to draw the conclusions so that they can, of course, improve themselves. Okay, so the strategies are, we have a book. I personally like that book because it has the events and the related Quran verses that goes with them. And there are some activities that we will go through, and the exercises are in the end. So the topic is nicely covered. And also, I'll work on the projects. Actually, we all work in a project. We'll be having flowchart so that we know the sequence of events that took place, and the drawings, and if we could model any events, so it would be great so that the other students in the center can benefit from it. And we'll try to have a movie day so that it's easier for the kids to memorize the characters and the event. Okay, so the most important thing, we study history so that we can make our present better. So I'll focus on the practical learning, inshallah, and that includes that, the students should be able to relate what actually they are learning about the past. So let's say if, the Kufi did something wrong to Imam Ali, so they should be able to know what we are doing to our Imam. So for our practical actions, I'll give focus to this practical learning, inshallah. And all our study will be research-based. I will appreciate my students if they go and read the related stuff, inshallah, in their homes, and of course the parents, if any of are here, so you can just go on, you can just have discussions with them what they have learned, and they just go and study more stuff and let the students know and let them encourage them to just come back and share with the other friends in class. And of course, the assessments will be there so that you know how your kids are doing in the class. And the assessments will be on the monthly basis and annual basis, inshallah. Okay, now akhlaq. Of course, this is a bit challenging as the target that I have set for the akhlaq class for the big girls, they are in class 9, so I expect much more than we can plan. So it is really important for the students to know how to assess their akhlaq. I mean, if they are studying and they're giving quizzes and exams, and they're unable to know how they are dealing with others and how they are in their own moral values, it's useless. So they should know how to assess on a daily basis, and I will help them to learn how they can improve. Of course, we'll study Ahlul Bayt's akhlaq and their lifestyles, their moral values, and how they used to deal with other peoples individually and in groups. The students will learn that it is really important to have sound values when it comes to fulfill the Huquq al-Nas, and for their own development. Without the development of their akhlaq, it's impossible for them to develop as a human. Also, they would know the importance of akhlaq in the communities, as in the communities need to work on their akhlaq more than anything else to grow and to be an effective community. So the strategies that I have for akhlaq are, of course, we follow the book that we are given from the center, and it includes Quranic verses that emphasize akhlaq, and of course, our goal will be to study Ahlul Bayt's lifestyles, so that we know what Janab Fatima al-Zahra salam and all So we know what our imams used to do in their daily dealings and things like that, and then our students can assess. We know that the standards that our imams have set are our standards. So inshallah, our students will be able to improve according to those standards set by our imams. And most important thing, while maintaining the akhlaq individually or in a community, we don't understand, or we are not familiar with our proactive nature, benefits of the proactive nature. So I will have a session on proactive nature. How can we be proactive in our daily life so that they can know how to deal with the situations. If your mom is saying you something to do it right now, and if you're not, you don't do it right now, so you should know what's the Islamic way of dealing with it. It's not just what you have seen in the movies, or it's not just what you want to do. It's a complete learning, inshallah, and with the proactive nature within ourselves, it's easier to deal with the daily situations, inshallah. So we'll have sessions on this, and of course, I will monitor their clock in the center. We will be having the counseling with the parents if they are having any issues, because the girls are big girls, so they're in the age of they're in the stations, and they want to do something which maybe you don't like to do it. So we'll have a sitting so that we can, have a conversation on what we can do and sort it out. And of course, the class will be given a clock point, so they would know, they would make their own charts, how they're doing. So like, I would ask them to, see yourself and just repeat what you did in your home to anybody or anybody else, with anybody else. So they would assess themselves, and this would not be in front of the whole class. It would be on, one-on-one basis, like me and just the students. So we just don't want them to be, point out in front of everyone. So they will learn this as well. And the assessments will be there. Okay, so of course, in the last, I would like to say all to your parents, it is challenging, but inshallah, together we can, and with Khulus and our efforts, we can help our children to practice and to learn Islam in West. Thank you.
Now we're going to start with our class 9 girls class, starting with fiqh. I would like to invite a teacher that some of you have seen grow in our community, from a young student at Sunday school to an inspiring teacher at Sunday school. Someone who started reciting youth majalises at a very young age. Our class 9 fiqh teacher, please welcome Sister Masma Presta.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear respected parents, Assalamu alaikum. For class 9 girls fiqh, my teaching philosophy, I've always believed that the best way for us to learn a subject is to teach it. So I've experienced it myself when I do my daily lesson plan, my weekly lesson plans. I always learn something new about a subject that I'm getting ready to teach. And in all the years that I've taught, I've always experienced this. So in the past I've done this as well, that I have students pick a topic that is part of our syllabus that we're going to cover later in the semester. And then the day that we're supposed to cover that topic in class, they get the first 10 to 15 minutes to present their project, and then we go on and discuss the rest of the period. So this year, inshallah, for this class, I've done the same. I've assigned girls a topic that we will be covering later this semester, inshallah, in the late November, early December time frame. And they will be given, they will be given the date they're supposed to present in class, and this helps them not only master the subject, the topic that they're covering, but in doing so, they also take that knowledge and impart it to their peers. And sometimes I've noticed that students learn more from each other than they do from their teachers, because if one student, the same age, and if their friend is telling them something, they'll listen to it more carefully than the teacher would. So this also helps them grasp that subject matter a little bit more. For class structure, for the first 5 minutes of class, I will set aside some time for us to discuss any big issues that the girls have come across during that week. We already started doing this, and it's gone really well, and we've had questions that come up, and I go back with some homework to research those questions for the girls, and then we discuss it again the next class period. And I will always log any task, any homework that I've assigned. You probably have seen already, you weren't even introduced to the dashboard, but you saw an email from me that you were assigned a homework that's due tomorrow. So I always promise to do that as soon as the next day, so that you know what what homework your child has, and you can help them finish it in time. And of course, if there are any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to call me, email me, and I promise to get back to you as soon as I can.